Hello everybody and welcome back to Saxlingham. So before we forget, we are going to get these tram lines ripped out. I think, if I'm right in what I'm thinking, this field we drilled this, like when we first arrived here in Saxlingham, and when we bought this farm and land, this field was not drilled. So I don't know whether this field will be a problem, but I would rather take the precaution now of ripping them out to make sure that we do get them all in the right spot. It's also a good practice as well, because you think these tram lines with soil compaction and all that, they've been run on technically in real life all year when you're spraying fields multiple times. So it'll be a good thing to actually rip them out, fluff that soil up again before we go in with our direct drill, which we will have to hold on to till next month. But once this is done, the first job we have to do is we're going to have to go and finish that canola harvest. Well, I say finish, we got started first. But we'll go start and finish that canola harvest, which it's a smaller field than what field 41 was. So it should take less time. So it'll definitely be one, if not two loads out of that field. So let's just drop this down here. Get this last bit out, and I'm just praying that this will mean that we don't have the tramline problem. The only thing that is really annoying is we've got the tramline problem in that bottom field, and that's the field we'll be looking at all the time. So for a year we're going to be reminded of our mistake, and then this field up here, this should be alright, which is where we're only going to see it really once or twice more, like to come back to drill, roll, and then herbicide. So it's not too bad if you were to have an error sort of up here. Right, let's get this to the yard. We're going to take this off, we'll put the trailer on, and obviously the combine is already over near field 26, so we don't have to move that around. But yeah, if you haven't seen the previous episode, you can see there is far too many tram lines there, which, yeah, anyways. So I will leave this side just here out the way. The other thing we've got to remember is doing it like this is we are going to be losing, well, our environmental score is for ploughing, like you lose points for ploughing, and I'm just hoping that obviously with us taking out these tram lines that we don't lose too much sort of from it. I don't know whether the subsoil works in that aspect, I don't know, but hopefully not, otherwise we've got a problem and we're losing money for sorting that problem out. So let's, went massively wrong there. So let's get this trailer put on, like so, and we can just leave this here waiting now, and we'll go jump into the combine and we can start this canola field, which, as we saw in the previous field, which is a lot bigger, it doesn't actually, once you've taken the headland off, it doesn't actually take that much time. I do have access, there we go. It doesn't actually take that much time, like, for what you would think, but anyways.
Well, the pop stars are weeping, the rappers are crying, their platinum records gathering dust, slowly dying. 'Cause country's the flavor, the craze of the day. Even Bieber's wearing a 10-gallon hay. Oh, the rhinestone cowboys are riding the charts, cashing it big on breaking all the hearts. From hip-hop to heavy metal, they're all jumping the fence, singing about pickup trucks and a love that makes sense of pretense. Used to be fiddles, steel guitars twang, Now it's synthesizers playing the country fight clang. And every song's got a beat that'll make your feet tap while the lyrics are vapid. A commercialized class.
Well, this will more than fill the trailer and send it off on its merry way to go tip at the farmer's market. I don't want to just put the auger out just yet. I want to try and get a bit closer, see if we can get it in, because last time we were chasing it, well, we almost had to chase it around the field so that we could actually, because he started driving off. But is that going to... Okay, that's not going to be enough. Okay, we are going to have to reposition ourselves. So if we stop here, that should give him enough chance to sort of work out where we want him to go. Or not. Okay, let's keep reversing back. Oh, what's he doing? He's just smashing my tractor up. Is he now just going to park there? Okay, let's go see. Let's go get him while he's there. That could be the better option. Let's get this auger right. There we go. So we will tip that, and then there's not much left. What we're going to say? 3/4 of a tank of this. We may have. Where's he? Where's he gone now? I think it's safe to say he's sacked. For one, running the tractor, which, yes, we bought this tractor as part of the farm when we first moved down here, but running into a brand new sort of header, we can't be having that now, can we? But right, we will go take this down to the farmer's market, get that tipped, and then, like I say, it's just that top bit there left to go, and then we may just have another look at the contract pages. I know there is a contract, well, there's a nice field that we could go and do, but funnily enough, it's a potato field, but they're wanting us to harvest it with a combine and a grain header. So if you can tell me how that works, I'd be very interested to know, because I've never seen taters lifted like that before. Right, so we'll turn left there, and we'll get to this grain sell point and see how much it says. I'm hoping this should be over 50%. Obviously, if it's under, then we've got another load. We've got another load to do, but I can't see that being the case. So we tip this. I do love these Bailey trailers. They are awesome. I just hope people won't mind if I use them in another Let's Play. But if I do that, I may change them. You know, we may be able to change them to blue or something. 68%. So that's 32% left to go. Right, we will get this back to the field, get it parked up, and well, one will get the combine empty because that's still got some canola in, and then we can finally finish off this harvest. It's a lot smoother driving in the field than it is on them tracks. Right, let's get the last load of this out, which there won't be too much. I think it's, what was it last time, 4,000 litres? This is where I'm going to be hugely wrong, but I think it's about 4,000 or 5,000 litres. Okay, well, slap bang in the middle. I'll take that all day long. But right, we will finish this. This shouldn't take too much longer. One would hope. and we're here. So 6% is the total volume that's in here to complete this contract, and that's with 63% in the trailer. So let's just pull back into this trigger again for the final time, definitely for this month. I don't think we're going to do another harvest contract this month, but we may, depending on what's about, we may do one in the next one. And now the money starts rolling in. Whoa, it's nearly 10,500 just from our sort of little bonus. And then if we have a look at the contract page, so over 10,500 again. So we've made over 21,000 doing that. So we will collect that contract and we'll now get our way back to the farm. So if we just put the cover on, we can leave this outside for now. The combine's back as well. Worker's brought that for us, so, and he's left it ready to be. He's either refilled it or he's left it, refueled it I should say, or he's left it for us to do. But one thing that is for certain is we're calling that a day now. That has been one long month. Obviously we've harvested, have we done both our fields in August? Harvested both of ours, harvested two of someone else's. We've sold silage, and we have a field of ours drilled with canola. So like I say, that's us now going for a rest. And then next month we have got the wheat to drill in our top field, and that's us completely drilled up then, unless we're to do anything with this small grass field down this bottom. But I'm of the belief and the thinking now that that may be worth just selling it, because it's not going to turn over that much money. But I'm definitely, because we fertilised it after we last cut it, I am definitely cutting it once more to get some silage out of there. So right, we will see you next month. And welcome to September. So our worker is currently on doing some mowing contracts for us. There's 2 for him to get on and do, and we need to get some fertiliser put into here. So I need to work out, because it wasn't me who used this in the last episode, I don't quite know how to open these top covers. So we're going to have to work that out, and then we're going to have to bring the telehandler over here so that we can then fill this up with fertiliser. Obviously seeds, it's hardly used a thing. So from what I gather, we've got to unfold it like so. It's a very slow process. And then that should now mean that we can open the covers. Brilliant. As you can see, seed is absolutely brimmed, but the fertiliser isn't. So let's go get the John Deere telehandler. And where did we leave the forks? There. So we'll go get that, and we will get this filling. This must have a huge fertiliser sort of compartment, because I'm sure we had 8 bags there. Now we're down to 2. That's unreal. If that's, I can't fathom where, because we didn't use any anywhere else, have we? But right, let's get this over the compartment. So I think it's just to do a one at a time jobby, which was probably a bad idea, putting the third one up there, because it means that could, oh no, that emptied as well. So now let's get this one in, and I will brim it just because I don't want to have to come back down if we need to, because when we last drilled, obviously that field there's taken now in a full load of fertiliser, and the amount of times I had to refill when doing the canola and barley last year was ridiculous. 2 more, and then that is all our fertiliser gone. So we have none in storage after we've done this. Right, and that's both of those tipping in. So it's either going to take both, or it's going to leave us with some parts. That's rather annoying. Can I take any more? No. Sound job. We'll get these 2 put back into the shed, and then we know we can use these for some fertilising contracts. And that was one of the good things about us buying all this, which, yes, it was a big expense at the time, but because we bought all this already, we're not having to worry about that expense now. Although we will be... Ooh, let's just make sure these are coming off. Alright, let's turn that off. Yeah, so we are we are using it all, but at least we have like £20,000 worth of leasing fees going out, just to pay for tractors, combines, all that sort of thing. So I would rather have all our shed full here, knowing that we're completely fine for seed, fertiliser and herbicide, than have to say now go and buy it all and then spend a couple grand that I wouldn't want to do, pretty much. So it's the same sort of cost, but it's different sort of timings. Well, doesn't look too bad, does our canola field, but it's bad enough when you've got one set of tram lines right next to the other. Oh, it's gonna be... I can't wait to get this field harvested already. Because you look at that, it's just a big... I wouldn't want to know how much of the field we've lost because of those tram lines. And part of me did think, do I just rip them out and redo them? Yeah, in August. But we made the mistake. We live with it, and that's about as best we can do. But we are going to get this done, which interestingly I saw a different approach of doing the headland, one breed on the headland and then doing the middle, so we may have a look at giving that a go to see if there's any different. So this is saying our tram lines are set to 24 metres. I thought they were 27, or at least I'm sure they were 27. So that could be a reason of why we've got a problem. But if they have been reset, well, if they are reset to a shorter width, then hopefully us doing the subsoiling in here is being very beneficial to us all. But we won't know until we roll and see what the crack is. And we are going to just have a look to see if there is a sowing contract anywhere, because that then can help pay for the use of this drill. But we'll take it back to the yard because we need to then gather the rollers up, and they're going to obviously show us any flaws But yeah, gather the rollers up, we'll get this field rolled, and then I imagine that'll be it. Also, our worker's finished one of his contracts, so I'm sure he's currently in the process of moving to his next one. Whilst we're here, we do need some diesel. So, and I think the combine needs it as well. So we're just going to go fill the combine up, then we can pull... Oh, also needs a bit of a wash. So if we fill the combine, yes please, and then we can pull this out the way, and that needs a clean before we go do anything else with it. We can then pull the New Holland in, get that cleaned, and we'll get it emptied, because no one seems to require it. Everyone in the area must have drills or be well up to date on it all. So there is no sewing contracts available for us. So let's pull that there and turn off. And obviously we want to empty this drill near here, because then that's where we're going to be loading up. Let's go this way around to there. Let's pull this over. But that combine, that drinks diesel for fun, because before those 2 contracts that we went and did, I did fill it up beforehand, and now obviously we're filling it up again. It's using some fuel. It's a thirsty beast. Right, and that is the New Holland full. So let's just, if we pull up to here, empty out that. Brilliant. So there's 2 bags of seed and 3 of fertilizer. So let's take that off, and we'll make our way, because I think I left the rolls up in this top field, so we'll go grab them, and then, like I say, we can get rolling. So I'm going to do this a bit different. Let's find out. Let's get these unfolded and find out where steering assist. So that's saying 2 headlands. So we're going to roll the second headland, so the one further, like in the field the most. We're going to roll that first, and at least we then have a line of where to roll up to, if that makes sense. And then we can finish off. So obviously we know... Oh, I lost my steering assist there. So then we know that we need to lift the rolls every time we hit this line. Oh, please don't do the same to me. I've subsoiled all that. Or is that where the fertilizer was? I really hope that's not going to give us the same problems. Anyways, we now know that there's a line here for us to hit when rolling, and then we can roll the outside last to sort of finish it all off, to make it look all nice and uniform. bar mulching, I don't know how much more I can do to put these, to try and get the maximum yield out of these. I'm hoping that where there's the light lines going through, that's where, because everything was fertilised last year and harvested, we didn't use the fertiliser where the tram lines were. So I'm hoping that's what the case is that when we drilled with fertiliser, it didn't obviously put any fertiliser there, and hence that was why they're light and the rest of the field is dark. That's the hope. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But we will find out when we move into the next month, that is for sure. We'll find out what's gone on. But we are finishing the rolling, like so. So that's been a good little job done. So let's lift that up and we can start to fold that. And there's both our fields now ready to go. So the only thing will be to do weeds, but like I say, what we'll most likely look at is hiring a sprayer when there's some spraying contracts on the go, because at least that then pays for the sprayer. So essentially we're using it somewhat for free. So let's collect these. So that's 8,229, and then this was 4,548, and then there is, you're gonna have to bear with me with this one, there is this huge contract where I know the old mill is very hard to, well, it's very tight, let's say. So it's, do we take the contract and hire the machinery, or do we take the contract and go with ourselves? It's 25 acres, almost 26. So with our combine, it would be sort of a whole episode job. And to get to the old mill, you're going to really want tractors and trailers. But the wheat that we would sell at the end of it could be a lot of money. There's also a cultivating contract, which that's 5 acres. So with our cultivator, that won't be too bad. And fertilizer one. So there's 2 nice contracts. Spraying, we really want that next month. We don't want to be going into those just yet, I want to say. And tedding. But I do want to avoid sort of 23 and 25 because they're just sort of awkward shaped fields. So we do have potentially £13,000 there, and also this harvesting contract. What we could do is we could buy another trailer, so this can fund another Bailey trailer for us, and maybe look at, depending on the size of that header, if that's the same size as our header, we can rent the combine and get our combine in there as well. Or if that's the 15.2 metre, we could rent the Macdon to do that. I think you're looking at there 45,000 when you take in the return of crop with the field being so big. But we're definitely going to accept these ones. Accept the fertiliser one. And then, like I say, it's just this big one of what we do there. But anyways, on that note, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you have liked and enjoyed the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye for now.